So hi everyone, I'm Jon Bain. I'm the sales director for TVision. I joined in February and have been involved in a lot of the commercial conversations up till now. I haven't actually had a conversation with those who are attending today, but my plan was to kind of give you a bit of a flavour of some of the findings that we're having around usage within support and some tools that might help to create more efficiency in usage of support hours and provide you with some options moving forward there, but also to introduce myself and give you a point of contact that you could come to later to talk about some of your projects. So I'll just click into the first part. So support tickets, obviously there's some things that we're starting to flag up that we wanted to address. We were finding that there's quite a few requirements coming in for basic assistance. So looking at sort of training on some of the more simpler functionality, which was highlighting an area where we thought there might be something here where rather than doing this on an individual basis, we could put something together that would be more around sort of a team training session for your company, so that you're utilizing spend better and you're not repeating those requests and basically paying more than once for the information that we're providing you. So we wanted to speak to our support team first, and we got guidance around some support ideas from them that we thought would be good to tailor to the customer, to our customers, in order for you to kind of benefit from those training packs. And then we wanted to also make sure that we weren't doing this on you're having to keep coming back to us as well. So we wanted to again optimize and make it more efficient, where we would record those sessions for you and provide that as content for you to then come back to and share with teams or new additional people that join your company in the future. So the plan was to kind of provide an upskill session for between 2 to 5 people, do that in sort of one session, and then give you the confidence and knowledge to those users that they need. So some of the packs that we were looking at and considering, let me click across, there we go, was around new company setup. We've got rapid start, so mass data uploads, report layouts using Word layouts, general ledger setup, then into posting groups. There was quite a bit of insight and kind of requests around JET training or just around reporting in itself. So we looked at the JET side of things, and there are already JET training options for basic and advanced functionality. But there's also bits there that we can assist with, so focus training around JET reports, so the financial reportings that was coming out. So that was something that we were keen to, again, look at an area there that we could support you as an additional training to what JET already provide. Additionally, then there was elements of reporting that's not using JET reporting or not using Power BI, but again within the main system. So there's areas there that we thought could be quite beneficial for you. And then the final one on this page is the permission set, so creating permission sets. Using the recorder, assigning permissions and understanding permission errors. And then onto VAT, VAT1, VAT2. So assisting you with, for VAT1, for a new employee who must submit VAT returns, reports to run pre-submission for reconciling VAT, and where to look if there's discrepancy, how to post a full VAT journal, and then the make tax digital process. And then closing VAT entries after submission. So that's the VAT1 side of things. And then VAT2, changing VAT posting setup for new needs, modifying the VAT statement when VAT posting setup is changed, and then adding a manual adjustment for any box on the VAT return. So a few options there that we've considered to look at for you. What will be coming over is there is a poll that Danusia will be providing, which will give you some options to select if any of those are of interest to you. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to run those over a period of January to March. So to give you the option to book in some time for your teams to run some of those sessions. So we want to get your steer on which ones would be more beneficial to you. And then the plan is that we're going to put a calendar invite in, and those who've attended today will have the first sort of early bird access to booking their time slots before we then go out to the rest of the customer base. So that was our plan, was to kind of get that out within the next 1 to 2 weeks, so that you can then start to book some of these training sessions up. But ideally looking to reduce that spend, take it out of the support hours so that you're getting maximum use out of your support, making them more efficient and using that support for the more advanced and more niche kind of requirements that you need, rather than just the basic training for just those individuals. There's also additional learning sources from Microsoft Learn. So there's a link here where you can get access to their environment, getting some information from them. So again, there may be people who haven't got that link or aren't familiar with the access at Microsoft Learn. So there are tools there that you can go into and upskill yourselves as well. So just giving you that information again so that you've got that for your employees. And then finally, just a quick one to end. There's quite a few customers who've been talking about the roadmap to SaaS and looking at their journey and wanting to understand when's the right time for them to move, how will they move, and what's required there. So I've begun conversations since I've been here. Pippa mentioned obviously 40% have moved into a SaaS environment, and there may be some of you here today who are considering that, who might want to reach out. So my contact details are in here as well, just that if you want to get in touch and start that conversation around sort of moving into a SaaS environment or what that would mean for you as a business, we're open to, again, booking some sessions with you to start looking into that. And that's me.
Great, thank you, John. Okay, so over to myself now. I'm going to talk to you about communications from TVision. So let me grab my presentation. There we go. Hopefully you can see my screen. Can you confirm you can see it, John or Jason? Is that my PowerPoint? Fabulous, thank you so much.
Yep.
So, as I said at the very beginning, my name is Danusia Jolliffe and I'm the Marketing and Customer Services Director here at TVision. I've been with the business nearly 6 years now, and for the last 3 months, I have also taken on responsibility to look after the support desk. So I may have been speaking with you previously from a marketing context, and now there's support involved as well. So I just wanted to give you sort of a quick overview of what you may or may not be receiving from us already. So here are some examples. So the first one would be the webinar invitations that you receive from us. And so these are part of the regular communications that we send out. The latest one would have been our third-party webinar alongside Jet Analytics, where they spoke about Power BI. And obviously we have Simon later on talking about the possibilities of Power BI, so he can go into that in some more depth for you. And those webinar invites go out once a month, and then they're all available on demand afterwards. We also had the What's New in Business Central webinar last month, and we do that twice a year to let people know what's coming. We have a conversation internally with the business. People like Jason put input from a technical point of view, saying, you know, what is of interest to our clients? What should we be sharing? We also send out our newsletter once a month. So that's TVision Matters, talking about what's going on within the office and any new starters that we've had. As Pippa mentioned, we've had a lot of people join the team now, and month by month we share a little bit about them, so you get to know them as a person. You know, these video calls, they're a way of life now, but it's still really nice to get to know that individual, to know who you're talking to. So we sort of find out a few things about them that may be of interest. Other regular information we could send would be Forrester or Gartner reports or a Microsoft report that might be of interest to you. And then we have the ad hoc stuff that goes out, you know, business critical information that we need to let you know about immediately about your system. There will also be content around price increases, and that's internal and external. An example here was about our third-party add-ons increasing from January, some of them are. And then the last example there that got sent recently by Debbie was around the GDAP. Permissions that were required from all of our clients to make sure we can continue with that access. So the best ways to keep in touch with us, you know, first of all, to whitelist the domains that we're sending our emails from, those two listed there. And also that's, you know, of importance is keeping us updated with your contacts. So who leaves, who joins, to make sure that when we are sending the information out and when it is business critical, that the right person can receive that information. The third point there was around our next Ask Me Anything session that we've got scheduled for January. Just got to finalise the date, and as Pippa said, she will be on that as our special guest, and it literally will be an Ask Me Anything session. I know that a couple of people on the call have attended them previously when it's been myself and Ian, and if there'd been some technical questions that you needed answers to or a bit of help, but yeah, Pippa will be available and we'll be sharing that information shortly. So another way to keep in touch is to follow us on Twitter and on LinkedIn. Links are there. You can find us on both of those social channels, as well as the content that we share. It's anything industry related that we might think may be relevant to you. So we follow all of the Microsoft channels, all of the Microsoft content that we share on there, as well as our own. So the last, sort of the second area of my session today is around the support improvements and what's been going on the support desk. So as Pippa mentioned, not only our team, but the TVision team is growing. So you may have had emails from Debbie recently. She joined in late August, and she's a support team leader. So that GDAP email would have come from her and various other communications. We've also had Kathy join the team as a customer services administrator. So her role is very much looking after licensing, onboarding, offboarding, and renewals. So you'll be hearing from Kathy in due course. So as well as the new people joining the business, we've also actually sat down and started looking at some of our processes. Again, John, you mentioned the word effective earlier, so ties in really nicely. We want to make sure that we are using your support time effectively. So to make sure that that's clear and what's happening, what's going on, we now have your weekly reports up and running again, and a monthly report to indicate what's happened in the previous full month in terms of support hours. We're also working on our new client handovers to make sure we're passing on those messages clearly so new clients know how to contact us, what to do, how to use support effectively. I know that the wave is currently going on and many clients have been waived already, and that's been really successful. We just need to make sure that the process is clear, the time is spent wisely, and that you know that's coming out of support hours, and just to make sure that everybody knows what's going on in terms of that, that wave update that happens twice yearly. And then lastly, the outbound communications from support and from the business. Because now I sit and look after the support team, then all comms now go through marketing. So we're aware of what goes on. We use our marketing automation tool, and that's why we've asked you to whitelist those 2 domains to make sure that what you are receiving is actually coming into your inbox and making sure that the right people is getting that information. My last point here is around Power BI dashboards. So Simon's going to get a mention again. In the business, we're looking at having these dashboards to make sure that each functional area has greater confidence, visibility, and tracking of exactly what's going on, so that we know on the support desk how many tickets are open, who's working on them, what stage they're at, have they been opened, the triage process that Debbie goes through. Once it comes in, has it been allocated correctly? Is it the right severity? Is it business critical that we need to speak to you immediately, or is it a medium or high importance? Just to make sure that we are tracking things in the right way and making sure that we are responding in the best way possible. So that was my session all around support. My contact details here as well, if anyone wants to get in touch with me. I think now, let's see what the time is. It's now 10:30. So can we take a short 5 or 10 minute break, and then we will come back and we will hear from Simon, who will be talking about Power BI, and then we'll lead on to Jason, who will be talking about the horizontal apps. So if we give it 10 minutes and then we will return at 10:40. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll just pause all the screens now.